What's up everyone, Jacob here, welcome to Dangerville. If you've seen our video on Monsterverse Doug and his epic adventure, then you probably know about the official new series to the timeline Godzilla and Kong made famous called Monsters Declassified. Today, we got our first look at the upcoming story, set to follow the newest big bad monster to the Monsterverse, Abbaddon, the gigantic spider beast, clad with a human skull on its back that will soon star in the game Kong Survival Instinct. The first real attempt at a decent video game in the Monsterverse so far. Now to the backers of Monsters Declassified, Legendary has given us 7 pages of Abaddon's story to help build more hype for the upcoming game and graphic novel. Many of you know that I love a good monster comic, so I think it's time for an update to help make these videos more special. Let me know if you like this new look for these comic videos going forward. So these images appear to be in the early stages of the art process. So there's no color or tons of detail just yet. But I actually kind of like the black and white look, combined with some excellent pencil work that still appears to be some of the best in the series in my opinion. With all that being said, we're gonna delve deep into these disturbing glimpses of this new evil titan and see how she truly wants humanity dead. And here we go. The first page starts off introducing a lone spider creepily crawling around what appears to be a monarch facility. Already, I can tell the artist and director of this comic are trying to put together something that in our minds should play out like a feature film. The images panning together a sequence so that in a sense we see the images moving the same way as we would see a film edited together. At least that's how my brain was working. Now I can't be for certain if these 7 pages released are in actual order, or if they have left some pages out to keep some of this a secret still, but the next slide starts with an unsettling image of a young woman lying on her back in the wilderness, her body limp, her arm extended with her finger ever so slightly resting in the creek bed that lay below her, her eyes wide open. This woman is no longer with us, but she soon will be again. The spider we seen earlier, or a new one which now appears much larger, looks down on what was likely its latest victim. What happens next is straight out of a horror film. The spider crawls down the woman's body and begins to pry her mouth wide open, forcing its body inside. The woman's lifeless corpse suddenly jerks and slaps over to her stomach. The hand that once laid in the water now tremors and violently grips the earth below. In one disturbing movement, the corpse jumped to a stand. We can assume the spider has taken control of the host's body here, and now it can do as it pleases in the human world without prying eyes. Now like I said everyone, we were only given 7 pages of this story, and so this next page right here is a bit out of nowhere compared to what we just looked at. This is likely our first true appearance of the Titan Abbaddon in comic form. But it's hard to tell if this was the spider and woman sort of mutating and evolving into this new kaiju form, or if they left out more of the pages in between, and this scene has nothing to do with the one we looked at prior. So due to that, let's just look at these images without putting that much thought into the story happening around it. This appears to be Abbaddon either aggressively emerging from a lair down below what appears to be a lake or something, or the monster suddenly evolved into this mighty form. I want to assume it's the beast emerging from down below simply because that's how this franchise has always done it, and we've yet to see any sort of rapid evolution in this series that would say this type of extreme growth all at once is even plausible. But I guess at this point they could go in any direction. Speaking of direction, I can't tell if the monster is facing towards or away from us based on this image. I can see what may be what I'm calling the skullflage that we know is a major part of Abaddon's design, but I'm not quite sure as it's not exactly the same, and these indentations here were not easily seen in the Survival Instinct trailer at least. Moving on, page 4 of what was revealed doesn't show any monster action, but it does show us that this story will have some artistic flair. Black and white or colored, these pencil sketch style artistic images let us know that the team behind this comic are very gifted and skilled in their style, which is a style that screams eerie vibes, something the Monsterverse is going for with this Abbaddon thread it seems. And while we're at it, smash that like button and comment down below if you want the Monsterverse to be scary again. I sure do. Slide 5 is another page that doesn't really show anything related to the Titans or Abbaddon, but it does add some spiritual depth to what we are going to witness. We see a lone man, a lioness, and a wild boar, 2 hunters both focusing in on their prey. I assume this page here is a metaphor for something, a representation for the circle of life perhaps. Regardless, it yet again tells us that this story will not be the goofy, childish content that we got in the last Monsters Declassified on Doug. And next, the 6th revealed page shows us a fantastic, artistic look at Abbaddon. I can tell by the multiple eye slots, large fangs, and a bit of that skull fly showing up. Now it appears like the beast is in a sense pulling in particles of sorts to come together, forming this hellish looking head of the Titan. Or yet again, this could just be another visual representation of her coming to her full power. You never really know with these comics. Now, I'm not a super fan of the spider body template that Abbaddon has. I'm a bit worn out on the bug, crab, and snake-like titans in this universe being overused because they're just easier and cheaper to create. But I love this face. It reminds me of something that you would find in Metroid or any of those old retro games, you know, like the big bosses you would go against at the end of the level. Pretty cool, I think. And then this Monsterverse reveal all ends with this final image. A girl walking around what could be the same Monarch facility from the first page, as we once again see a bunch of paperwork and this small spider. Is this the non-mutated Abbaddon? Is this one of the Titan's lesser pawns that she controls? We're just gonna have to wait and see. Alright residents, those are the 7 images that were revealed to us backers of the Monsters Declassified series, and I have to say I'm pretty excited for when the full comic does come out. I have no idea when that's gonna be. They're keeping this all kind of, I guess, kept close. All we know is that it's going to come out throughout the fall, so stay tuned everyone, because when it does, you know I'm going to make a full comic video going over it. How do you feel about this creepy new story to the Monsterverse? Let me know down in the comments. As always everyone, go outside and have a good day. See you in the next one.